everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's episode, we're going to cover all the details on this 15 by 17 outdoor covered patio. Come along with us as we show you all the details on how we made this outdoor living space a space that you can enjoy. Before we can do anything on this patio, the very first thing that has to happen is all of the concrete work. What they're doing is they went around the perimeter and laid out our forms. They went 15 feet off of the house and they went 17 foot wide because our concrete is going to be 17 feet, but our actual covered patio is going to be 15, but they want an extra 2 feet for a future outdoor kitchen. So that's what they're doing right now. And then they're also doing a 12-inch by 12-inch deep grade beam around the entire perimeter. And then we got two piers in this spot right here, along with the other corner over there for underneath our posts for our future 6x6 posts that we're going to be putting in later on in the video. And so that's what this is for. Then after they get all that dug and cleaned up, they're going to come back with all the rebar and get this thing ready for a pour of concrete today at noon. Believe it or not, all in one day, they're going to form this up, do the trenches, do the rebar, pour the concrete, finish the concrete, and get this thing completely done and ready for the framing later on in the video. We're gonna let the guys work. We're gonna get out of their way. We're gonna come back tomorrow and the entire concrete pad should be poured and ready for us to go. Tomorrow, our goal is to pre-stain all of the material and pre-paint all of the siding and get it ready for the construction phase so that we can get it prepped this week, enjoy the holiday for 4th of July, and then come back for Monday and Tuesday and get this thing completely framed and roofed and done by Wednesday. So that's our goal. Right now, we're gonna get out of their way, let them work. And so in the meantime, enjoy this time lapse with them working, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. And just like that, we have a concrete patio done. We are ready for the next phase, which is pre-staining all of the material. We're gonna get all the material laid out on our sawhorses over here, and we're gonna pre-stain all of the lumber because it's a lot easier to do it on the ground than it is to do it on ladders. But as you can see from behind me, this concrete patio turned out amazing. They knocked it all out in one day, and they were able to do all the forms, the rebar, and pour the concrete in one day and get it finished. And so now we are ready for the next step. We got everything set up on the sawhorses. We already started on the first coat on the tongue and groove. And so now I'm gonna throw you guys into time lapse. We're gonna knock out all the staining using the paint sprayer. Now that we have the paint sprayer, we're gonna make this as quick as possible, as clean as possible, and knock everything out so we can get this thing ready to be built next week. And just like that, all of the material is pre-stained, pre-painted, ready to go, ready to get thrown up and be built. Now we're gonna let everything cure. We're gonna come back next week because tomorrow is 4th of July. So we're gonna wait until Monday. And hopefully our goal is Monday and Tuesday to get this thing fully built and then have a little cushion for Wednesday to finish up all the little odds and end details like the electrical and whatnot. So we're gonna let this cure. We're gonna get out of here. Everything's cleaned up and we'll see you guys next week. It is now the next week. It's Wednesday. We had to wait until Wednesday because Monday and Tuesday it poured rain over here in Texas, so we didn't want to open up the roof, ultimately causing a leak or more damage, more work, etc. So now we're going to cut a hole on the right side, cut a hole on the left side, get this thing going. We're going to start with our post location, so let's jump to that and we'll show you guys how we attach our post to the concrete. For the post base, we went ahead and drilled a hole in the concrete right in the middle, attached a wedge anchor that bolted this plate down to the ground. This will allow our post to sit on top of it right here, and then we'll come back with ring shank galvanized 3-inch nails and go through the side of the post or post base bracket, and that will fasten it to the post and fasten it to the concrete and keep it from moving. And then once it's tied into the house and nothing's gonna go anywhere, it's gonna be solid and it's gonna be super nice. We went ahead also and opened up the roof on the right side over there and the left side over there. And now we're using our laser and we're setting it on top of the plate up there, shooting it across, and then we're gonna get our height of our post with that laser, and that will allow us to measure from that plate up to the laser mark that's gonna be in the sky. And so that's what we're gonna do right now. He's making fun of me because I sweat. It's because these boys over here, they don't sweat at all. Like David and Marcos.
Bro, I'm like drunk.
Bro, I go through like 7 shirts a day. Nah, I'm just kidding. That's too many. I brought 2 extra clothes. It's been 3 weeks and we are back on the job site. We have a lot done, and I'll explain why it's been 3 weeks since we've gotten some stuff done. But our posts are in, our beams are in, our rafters are in, and we are ready for the tongue and groove to go on top of the rafters to get that exposed rafter look. The reason that it has been 3 weeks is because we got stopped by the city over here where we're building the project. We tried to save the homeowner, who is a good friend of mine, some money by doing it under the radar and not getting a permit. But thankfully, we got approved by the city and we are able to continue. We didn't get fined, nothing bad happened. We actually have an inspection today on our beam insulation and how deep they go into the wall. And then tomorrow we have an inspection for our framing. And then next week we have an inspection for our final. And so we tried to fly under the radar to save some time, which that's why it took 3 weeks for us to come back out here, because we had to get approved for that permit and apply for it. So it took 3 weeks, but we're back on site. Things are going smooth. It was a little hiccup, a little bump in the road, but now we're moving right along. We're gonna start this morning by getting the tongue and groove on, and we're gonna show you guys how we tackle that on the roof and how we go about doing that business. The first piece that I'm going to start with is this first row of 1x6 tongue and groove on the very bottom of the roof. I have a bevel cut on it at 34 degrees, which is the degrees of the roof, and that will make it nice and plumb with the fascia and allows our drip edge to cover all that up really nice and cleanly, and then it keeps from any gaps happening underneath. But I'm going to start with that first piece, and I'll throw you guys into a time lapse and show y'all how I do the entire rest of the roof. And once I'm done, I'll explain everything to you guys.
What happened? Are you okay?
I fell off the ladder.
Are you hurt?
From a 9-foot roof. And I rolled my ankle. The stuff I do for the video, for the content. All right, guys, so it is official. I am new boot goofing. I fell off the ladder and fell 9 feet all the way to the ground. Do not do this at home. I messed up. I made a goofy error and I laughed about it afterwards, even though I kind of messed up my ankle. I put this ladder right here on top of a sheet or a stack of plywood, and the top plywood slipped and fell out and took the ladder with it, causing it to go like this, and then boom, and I was literally on that very top rung up there climbing onto the roof and fell 9 feet, rolled my ankle, laid on the ground for about 5 minutes, laughed about it. We chuckled. Tool broke, the circular saw broke, it got bent, ladders got bent, my ankle got bent, and here we are a couple days later after letting it rest for a little while. But we're back in the groove of things. Got the tool bags on. I'm not supposed to be walking on it, so don't tell anybody, but I'm not supposed to be walking on it. We're doing good. Got a little boot, got tool bags on. Dave is gonna be the one nailing. I'm gonna be the one cutting now instead. So he's gonna knock out the siding up there. I'm gonna cut everything since I can stay on the ground until I can get my foot back in action. And that is what we're gonna start with first, is this little gable end. We passed our framing inspection and that is good to go. And so now we're able to close in this entire gable. The inspector doesn't need to see up there into the attic. And so once we close in this, we can call in for our final inspection and get this thing wrapped up, and that is the goal. So let's show you guys how we do the siding right here in this gable. The first thing we're gonna do is pop a line at 1 inch, which we already done across this first piece of siding that's already there. That's gonna indicate where our next piece laps over on top of it and gives us that little reveal so that we can hide our nails when we're nailing in the siding. And then we just work our way up to the top like a ladder, and that is going to close in this gable. If you're wondering why there is no sheathing right here, is because this little gable end is not structural. It is just a filler so that from the actual back patio, it covers up and you don't see the top of the existing roof right there. So that's what this is gonna do. Just cover up all of this, and the inspector already saw it. He's not requiring anything, and we are good to go down here in Texas. So David's gonna knock this out. I'm gonna cut for him, and we'll see you guys when we finish, and I'll explain what we did. All right, we just took a little break. We got the whole siding done up top, and we're gonna move on to the post base. My foot's doing okay. I'm making it. I got to pump a little bit more air. Yep, put more air in my tires right there. That right there tightens up around the ankle, keeps me going, and so now we are good to go. And I am going to nail the bottom of the post so I don't have to move. So I'm just gonna sit there on the ground right over there on the bottom of the post. Dave is gonna cut everything for me. And now that we passed inspection, I can go ahead and close this up, because the inspector wanted to see how we anchored it to the concrete. He wants to see that bolt inside, and also he wants to see what fasteners we use to go from post to the plate connection down there. So now that that's done, I can go ahead and wrap them in 2x8 cedar, and we are good to go. We got one complete. Now we're jumping over here to the second one over here. And then that should complete the post. The bottom of our posts are complete. Both sides are done. That one's done over there, along with this one over here. And now we're gonna jump to this little leg, or the pata for the roof. That's what we call it in Spanish, la pata, or leg. And so we're gonna start with that first in the middle, and then we're gonna do our little diagonal braces from the right side and left side, and we'll show you guys how we do that. And right now I'll just throw y'all into a time lapse as I cut it, because there's a lot of cuts. So I'm gonna put y'all in the time lapse, and I'll see y'all in just a second. All right, it's officially cut and ready to go. This is the cut that we did on the leg for the ridge. The ridge is gonna sit right here in the middle. This is the face rafter and the other face rafter, and I'll show you guys how it goes up. You like it?
Yep.
We just finished all the trim work on the entire patio, and that finished our crow's foot up top. But that is a wrap for everything on this patio. Thanks for tuning in with us as we knock this thing out. We went through a lot of hurdles with the permitting and getting my ankle messed up, but I'm walking again, and this thing is officially complete. Until the next one, keep on building.